Chosen one. The shadows inside your home are not always cast by the light. Sometimes they are shaped by whispers, by unseen forces, by the invisible hands that move people closest to you. You feel it, those strange tensions in the air, the words that cut deeper than they should, the sudden doubts planted like seeds in your mind. This is not coincidence. God is sounding the alarm. You are being manipulated in your own home. The walls that should protect you have become a stage where unseen scripts are being played, where your peace is traded for confusion. You sense it when silence feels heavier than noise, when the atmosphere shifts for no reason, when your spirit aches without explanation. That is the signal. You are not imagining it. You're not here by accident. You've been guided to this moment. Write your warmest wishes and 99 in the comments. It's time to release your wish to the universe. Do it now, and don't hold back. If your spirit woke up while listening, don't scroll away. Like this video. Subscribe now. You belong here. Your presence is not random. Your awakening is not small. This is the call to take your power back, and the universe is waiting for your voice. But manipulation is clever, chosen one. It doesn't always roar. It whispers. It hides in the tone of a voice that tells you you're not enough. It lurks in the guilt others place on your shoulders, making you feel responsible for their storms. It shows up in the way someone close twists your truth into something ugly just to make you question yourself. And you've asked yourself, why does this keep happening? Why do I feel drained in the place I should feel safest? The answer is this. The enemy knows that if he cannot reach you outside, he will try to break you from within. And he does it through manipulation. You may think it's just conflict, just stress, just normal life. But deep down, your spirit knows when something is off. God placed a discernment inside you, a radar that picks up on deception even when your eyes can't see it. And now it is screaming for your attention. You notice patterns, cycles of arguments that never resolve, sudden accusations that don't make sense. Someone making you doubt your worth again and again. That's not love. That's not care. That's manipulation. And it is time for you to rise against it. You've been told to doubt yourself, but I'm telling you, trust the signal. You've been pushed to silence, but I'm telling you, your voice is sacred. You've been made to believe you're powerless, but God is saying, the power is still in you. Every tear you've cried in your own home has been counted. Every night you felt alone, unheard, unseen. He saw you, and now he is saying, awaken, chosen one. It's time to take back the sanctuary of your soul. The room feels familiar, but the energy feels foreign. Chosen one, haven't you noticed it? A space you once called safe suddenly carries a weight, as though someone rewrote the atmosphere when you weren't looking. That heaviness is not your imagination. It is the trace of manipulation, and it always begins the same way. Small, subtle shifts that turn into chains. A word dismissed as just a joke, but it pierced deeper than laughter could cover. A look that made you question your choices, though you knew your heart was pure. A suggestion framed as care, but in reality, it was control disguised as love. That is the slow poison of manipulation. It is never loud at first. It moves silently, until suddenly, you find yourself doubting everything you once knew to be true. Think about it. The arguments that always circle back to you being the problem, The way apologies from them are rare, but expectations from you are endless. The sudden anger that erupts whenever you set a boundary, as if protecting your peace is a crime. This is not normal conflict. This is control. It is an attempt to bend your spirit, to cage your freedom, to twist your identity until you forget who you are. But God has spoken over you. You are not their puppet. You are not a character in their script. You are His chosen one, and He is unveiling the truth in your own home. Manipulation feeds on confusion. It thrives when you second-guess yourself, when you replay conversations at night wondering, was I wrong? Am I too sensitive? Am I overreacting? No, you're not. That internal battle is not weakness, it's discernment. The reason you feel torn inside is because your spirit knows the truth. When words and actions don't align, your soul cries out. When love feels like a weapon instead of a refuge, your intuition warns you. And that's not paranoia. That's divine guidance pulling you out of a web designed to trap your light. Chosen one, you've been taught to endure, to keep the peace at the expense of your own. But God is telling you now, peace built on lies is not peace. Peace that silences your voice is not peace. Peace that breaks your spirit is not peace. It is manipulation wrapped in false harmony. And the longer you accept it, the deeper the chains become. This is why He is exposing it now, because He cannot allow your light to dim inside the very place meant to protect it. You must understand this. Manipulators fear your awakening. They know that once you recognize the game, their control shatters. That's why they attack your confidence, your worth, your clarity. They need you confused to keep you controlled. But the moment you step back and see the pattern, the spell breaks. And that is exactly what God is doing now, lifting the veil so you can see the pattern for what it is. The danger of manipulation is not just what it does to your mind, but what it does to your heart. It teaches you to distrust love, to see every act of kindness as a trick, to guard yourself so tightly that real intimacy feels impossible. It can make your own home feel like a prison, your own family feel like strangers, your own voice feel like an enemy. But hear this, that is not your destiny. You were not called to live caged. You were not chosen to live silent. You were not born to live manipulated. When manipulation tries to control the chosen, it forgets one thing. You cannot cage what God Himself has anointed. Every attempt to bend your soul will only push you closer to awakening. Every attempt to twist your truth will only sharpen your discernment. Every attempt to dim your light will only prepare you to burn brighter. Because your home, your sanctuary, your spirit, it belongs to God, not to their control. And He is saying, stand up, chosen one. The chains are being broken, the lies are being unmasked, and the power is returning to you. Do you feel that rise inside of you, that shaking in your chest, that fire in your spirit? That is not fear. It is your soul remembering its freedom. That is the sound of chains snapping in the unseen. That is the moment when manipulation loses its grip, because you've been given clarity. And clarity is freedom. God is saying, you don't have to play their game anymore. You don't have to accept their script. You don't have to live under their control. You are chosen, and you are stepping out of the shadows now. The silence before the storm always feels different, chosen one. You've sat in rooms where laughter should echo, but instead there's a heaviness, a pressure pressing against your chest. You've stood in hallways where love should flow, but instead suspicion lingers like smoke after a fire. This is the battlefield hidden in plain sight, the battlefield of your own home. And while outsiders may never see it, your spirit feels every blow. Manipulation doesn't need chains to hold you. It uses words, glances, tones, and guilt to bend your will. That's why it's so dangerous. It's invisible to others, but unbearable to you. There are times you've questioned yourself. Am I the problem? Am I too sensitive? Am I imagining this? But hear this truth. Those doubts were planted. Manipulation thrives when it convinces you to silence your inner voice. It works by making you the villain in your own story, by twisting reality until you doubt your memory, your feelings, even your sanity. That's not weakness on your part. It's strategy on theirs. And the reason you feel this so deeply is because you were chosen to discern truth in a world of deception. That gift is heavy, but it is holy. Look at the patterns. They smile in public, but cut you in private. They demand loyalty, but give none in return. They preach unity, but sow division behind closed doors. And when you call it out, they gaslight you. You're crazy. You're dramatic. You're imagining things. No, chosen one. You're not imagining it. You're awakening to it. And this awakening is dangerous for them, because once your eyes open, you can't unsee the truth. This is why you feel the tension rise when you speak your truth. They sense their control slipping, and they fight harder to silence you. But understand this. Resistance is a sign that you're on the right path. Manipulators do not fight what they own. They only fight what they're losing. And right now, they are losing you. God is cutting the cords that were tied around your spirit. Every tear you shed, every night you couldn't sleep, every moment you felt trapped, it was not wasted. It was fuel for this awakening. The manipulation in your home may come from those who claim to love you. That's what makes it cut so deeply. If it were strangers, you could walk away easily. But when it's family, when it's someone close, when it's someone you trusted, it becomes a war within your own soul. You ask yourself, how can the people I love hurt me like this? How can the ones I serve use me like this? And that is where the enemy hides, in the illusion that love means control, that care means silence, that family means ownership. But love without freedom is not love. It's captivity. Chosen one, manipulation in your home is not just about control. It's about energy. These forces drain your spirit, steal your focus, and weaken your fire, because they fear what you will become once you stand in full power. They want you distracted, exhausted, questioning yourself. But God is saying, enough. The storm is over. The spell is breaking. You are rising, not in anger, but in clarity. And once clarity comes, manipulation cannot survive. Think about the moments when you almost gave in completely, when you thought, maybe I should just stop fighting. Maybe I should just accept it. Maybe it's easier to stay quiet. That was the trap. That was the voice of defeat trying to bury your light. But you didn't stop, did you? You kept searching. You kept praying. You kept hoping, and that's why you're here right now. This message is not random. It's the confirmation that your strength was never broken. You are still here, and that means you are already winning. The manipulators in your home want you to forget your identity. They want you to forget that you are chosen, that you carry divine fire, that your presence shifts the very air in the room. They want to shrink you to the size of their fear, but you cannot be shrunk. Your spirit was built for expansion. Your light was designed to expose, and no matter how much they try to twist it, the truth will always outshine their lies. So rise now. Stand in your own home and declare silently in your heart, I will not be manipulated. I will not be silenced. I will not be broken, because you are not fighting this alone. Heaven has already gone before you. God has already called you out of this web, and every chain they tried to wrap around you is falling to the ground right now. Chosen one, the battlefield may be in your home, but the victory is already in your spirit. And once you claim it, no manipulator, no whisper, no shadow can take it away. The air shifts when the truth enters the room, chosen one. Suddenly, things that used to confuse you now make sense. The unexplained guilt, the sudden coldness after you set a boundary, the way every problem somehow gets twisted back to being your fault. This isn't coincidence. It's the signature of manipulation. And now, God is uncovering it in your own home, because the light cannot heal what stays hidden in the dark. Think of all the times you bent yourself into pieces just to keep the peace. You stayed quiet when you wanted to speak. You said yes when your soul screamed no. You carried weights that were never yours because you thought it was the only way to hold the family, the relationship, the household together. But chosen one, do you see it now? That wasn't unity. That wasn't love. That was control. Control so subtle that it made you believe you were the problem, when all along you were the target. Manipulators don't just twist your actions, they twist your perception of yourself. They want you to see yourself through their broken lens. They want you to feel guilty for shining, ashamed for saying no, selfish for wanting peace. They want you to believe that your freedom is a threat to the very walls around you. But God is saying, enough. He did not place you in that home to be silenced. He did not call you chosen just to see you chained. He is breaking the illusion now. Chosen one, manipulation is always afraid of exposure. That's why, when you begin to see clearly, they react with rage or tears or guilt trips. Anything to pull you back into confusion. They know that once you step into clarity, their grip weakens. And you felt it. Those moments when you've looked at them and suddenly realized, this isn't love. This isn't right. This is control. That's not just a thought. That's revelation. That's the voice of God cutting through the noise, showing you what your spirit has known all along. You are not crazy for feeling this way. You are not dramatic for noticing the patterns. You are not wrong for wanting peace. The reason it hurts so deeply is because you were not designed for cages. You were designed for freedom. And every time manipulation tried to shrink you, your soul resisted because it knows its own worth. That resistance, that fire inside you, it's not rebellion, it's survival. It's God's fingerprint inside you, reminding you that you were chosen for more than this. Do you understand how powerful that makes you? To see what others don't, to feel what others deny, to discern what others hide. That is the gift of the chosen. And yes, it makes you a target. The manipulators in your home know your light exposes their shadows, so they try harder to dim you. But light does not bow to darkness. No matter how they twist the story, the truth burns brighter. And now, your awakening is unstoppable. Picture this. Every lie ever spoken to you, every guilt ever placed on you, every doubt ever planted in your spirit, it's crumbling now like dust in the wind. The house that manipulation built cannot stand against the breath of truth. You are no longer their puppet, no longer their scapegoat, no longer their silent prisoner. You are chosen, and chosen ones do not stay silent forever. The question is no longer, am I being manipulated? The question now is, what will I do with this truth? Will you stay silent, letting the cycle continue? Or will you step into your divine authority and say, no more? This is your moment of decision. This is the crack in the wall where the light floods in. And once the light enters, the darkness has no choice but to flee. So stand, chosen one. Stand in your home, not in anger, not in fear, but in clarity. Look at the patterns and call them what they are. Look at the lies and strip them of their power. Look at the guilt and hand it back. It was never yours to carry. You are not here to be manipulated. You are here to break the cycle. And when you rise, everything around you shifts. The atmosphere changes. The shadows scatter. The truth takes its rightful place. This battle was never just about your home. It was about your soul. And your soul belongs to God, not to their control. The manipulations they used to keep you bound are losing power with every breath you take in truth. You are not who they say you are. You are not what they made you believe. You are chosen, and your identity cannot be rewritten by anyone's lies. Chosen one, this is your turning point. The house of cards is falling. The strings are breaking. And your freedom is not tomorrow. It begins right now. Chosen one, the moment of revelation always feels like fire. It burns away illusions. It exposes lies. It sears the truth into your spirit until you cannot deny it any longer. That is where you are now, standing in the blaze of clarity, seeing manipulation for what it truly is. And though it hurts to admit, though it shakes you to realize it has been happening in your own home, this fire is not here to destroy you. It is here to purify you. Think about the signs you've ignored before, the small whispers of your spirit telling you something wasn't right. The sudden guilt pressed onto your shoulders, the way you were blamed for emotions that weren't yours to carry, the constant shifting of rules so that no matter what you did, it was never enough. This wasn't care. This wasn't love. This was manipulation building its kingdom in the very place you sleep. But kingdoms built on lies always fall, and that's what you are witnessing now. The cracks spreading through their walls, the ground trembling beneath their control. They tried to make you doubt your memory. They tried to twist your intentions. They tried to paint you as the villain in a story where you were only trying to love and protect. That's the cruel genius of manipulation. It convinces you to fight yourself while they sit back and tighten the strings. But chosen one, hear this. The strings are snapping. The enemy underestimated the power of divine revelation. Once your eyes are opened, you cannot return to blindness. Once your spirit awakens, no voice can put it back to sleep. You may still feel torn. Part of you wants to believe the best in them, to give them another chance, to hope that maybe this time it will change. But the truth is not here to comfort. It is here to free. And freedom means facing the reality that not everyone who says they love you actually loves you in truth. Some only love the version of you they can control. Some only love you as long as you stay silent. Some only love you when you shrink. But your destiny was never to be small. Your calling was never to be voiceless. Your spirit was never meant to be owned. Chosen one, manipulation in your own home is not just about survival. It is about identity. They are not only trying to control your actions, they are trying to rewrite who you are. That's why the attacks have felt so personal, so deep, so relentless. Because they are not just against your choices, they are against your essence. They are fighting the very core of who you are because they fear the power that awakens when you stand fully in your truth. But you are awakening now. You are remembering who you are. And when a chosen one remembers, the atmosphere changes. The chains that once felt unbreakable become paper thin. The lies that once sounded convincing now sound hollow. The fear that once held you captive now crumbles in the face of your clarity. That's the shift happening inside you right now. That's the divine confirmation. You are not under their control anymore. You've endured the whispers, the pressure, the twisting of words, the endless cycle of guilt and blame. But now, your endurance is turning into strength. What once weakened you is now fueling you. Every tear became water for the roots of your resilience. Every wound became an opening for greater wisdom. Every manipulation became proof that you were chosen to carry a power too great to be silenced. Chosen one, this is not the end of your story. This is the turning of the page. And as you step into this new chapter, know this. You are no longer the character they wrote. You are the author now, and no manipulator can steal the pen from your hands again. Chosen one, the truth has been revealed, and now the decision stands before you like a door waiting to be opened. You've seen the patterns, you've felt the weight, you've recognized the manipulation that has lived in your own home, and now heaven is whispering one final message. You are not meant to stay trapped in it any longer. This is not just another warning. This is your moment of release. There comes a time when the lies no longer hold power, when the guilt no longer fits, when the control no longer chains you. That time is now. You can feel it, the shaking inside, the stirring that tells you something is shifting. It is the confirmation that the manipulations that once held you are breaking apart like glass. And though it may feel terrifying to step out of the familiar, even if the familiar has been toxic, your soul already knows that freedom is the only way forward. The manipulators wanted you to stay blind. They wanted you to question yourself, to silence your instincts, to doubt the very voice of God inside you. But look at you now, awake, aware, alive. You are standing in truth, and truth is not gentle with lies. It exposes, it strips, it shatters. And though it may leave you shaken, it will never leave you bound. The moment you stop believing their script is the moment you reclaim your own. Chosen one, I know it hurts. I know the betrayal cuts deep, because manipulation in your own home doesn't come from strangers. It comes from those you trusted. But understand this: the depth of the wound is proof of the depth of your calling. The enemy does not waste energy on the weak. He targets the chosen, because your destiny threatens his deception. That's why you felt this battle so fiercely, why you've been tested inside the very walls meant to protect you. But even in the fire, you were not abandoned. Every tear you cried was collected. Every prayer you whispered was heard. And now, the answer has come. Rise. This is your moment of choice. You can keep living in the shadows of their control, or you can step into the light of your divine authority. You can keep replaying their lies, or you can rewrite the story with truth. You can keep surrendering your power, or you can declare right now, I will not be manipulated again. The door is open before you. All you need to do is walk through. And when you do, the atmosphere will change. The chains will fall. The very energy of your home will shift because you dared to see what was hidden and you dared to break free. This is not just about your survival. It's about your transformation. You are not the same person who first felt the sting of their control. You are stronger now, wiser now, brighter now, and no one, not manipulator, not shadow, not enemy, can take that from you. Chosen one, listen closely. You were chosen for freedom, not for captivity. You were chosen for truth, not for lies. You were chosen for light, not for shadows. And as you step into that truth, know this: your story is far from over. In fact, it is only just beginning. The manipulations of yesterday do not define you. The freedom of today will carry you, and the destiny of tomorrow will shine through you. So stand tall, lift your head, walk forward, and never forget these words: you are chosen, and chosen ones cannot be controlled.